Hey, you better watch out. You better not pout. You better not cry. I'm telling you why. 'Cause Santa Claus is coming to town. He knows when you've been good or bad. You better be good for goodness sake. Well, it's that time of the year. It's a time that only comes once a year. It's called Christmas time. And I guess people have been philosophizing about Christmas ever since they've known anything about it. Many of us, those of the traditional Christian faith, believe that Joseph, Mary, were on their way to pay their taxes, but there was no room at the inn. And of course, Mary being with child, they needed to have some place to lay their heads. And I guess that's why one guy said, away in a manger, no crib for a bed, the little Lord Jesus laid down his sweet little head. But at any rate, it's 5:30 in the p.m. on a Friday, and this is U.S. Representative Congressman Danny Davis. Somebody sometimes say Dr. Danny Davis. Somebody say that D. Davis. They don't mean Dan. They mean that damn Davis. And so all kinds of things go on. But it doesn't really matter too much about what you're called. What matters is what you respond to. And so I'm just delighted that I was able to be here this afternoon to share a little insight into the Christmas time, the time that I hold holy, the time that I sometimes get filled up with emotion. Just thinking of my mother and father and how we approached Christmas as I was growing up. And sometimes I can't even talk about it because the memories are so precious and all the things that they would go through to try and help us feel like we were at the top of the world, to help us feel that things were going to just be great. They were going to be wonderful. And they would even have us feeling like the little man was coming down the chimney at some point. And I guess we believed it because we had a chimney. We had a fireplace. We burned wood. And we'd be told that, you better go to sleep. And if you didn't, little man was going to put sand in your eyes. So don't try to stay up and see Santa Claus when he was going to come. So we would eventually go to bed, and sometimes we would hear Santa Claus pulling out fire trucks, going to get the stuff they had hidden away. As a matter of fact, we had what we called a back room, our storage room. And we would have been smelling apples and oranges and grapes and fruit all week because they generally get the stuff before then. And we kind of knew that technically there wasn't no Santa, it wasn't no Claus. It wasn't nothing but your mom and pa. And so, but we would wrap all of that stuff in together, and we would hear people singing Away in a Manger, or either Silent Night, Holy Night. All is calm, all is bright. Round yon virgin, mother and child, holy infant so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace. Oh, you better watch out. You better not pout. You better not cry, 'cause Santa Claus is coming to town. And then we'd read the Bible, and everybody would get quiet. And we would be told about the story of Jesus the Christ, that this entity, this one person, this baby who came to save the world. We might have a little eggnog. We'd have some hot chocolate with marshmallows. So yeah, I just love those people. Um, may they rest in peace. Sounds like we've got a caller. Caller, are you there?
Yeah, how you doing, Congressman Davis?
James, I am good. How are you?
Okay, Congressman Davis, like I said to you last week, I don't know what to say no more. And then, like, it happened again, like in other countries. And you know what, Congressman Davis? How can people have a new year? And then, okay, you know the media, right?
Yep.
Now, they always talk about people have the new year. So when they have a new year, what happened? Violent and all the other stuff. And I don't know what to say no more, Congressman Davis. And my heart go out to the people who killed that guy. You know that you know Joe, right? Now, when he asked for the body camera, and the guy who killed that ambassador in Russia, I don't know what to say no more, Congressman Davis. And you know what, Congressman Davis? Like I said to you last week, it ain't gonna be nothing. It's gonna be the same thing like 2016, 2017. And I hope you have a new year, and that lady have a new year to answer the phone. And I hope y'all have a nice Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to y'all, Congressman Davis. I don't know what to say no more about all this violence and all this killing no more, Congressman Davis.
We thank you. I thank you. And Crystal, thank you. And we all thank you so much and wish for you and all of your family and friends a wonderful holiday season.
And I think the media's going too far. I'm going to keep my mouth shut from now on.
All right.
Okay, Congressman Davis.
Thank you. Take care. I believe we may have another caller on the line. Caller, are you there? If not, then that's quite all right because we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. You know, you think of peace. You know, I think of a song we used to sing, I am so tired and so weary, but I must go along until the Lord comes and call me away. But there will be peace in the valley someday. The bear will be gentle, the wolf will be tame, and the lion shall lay down by the lamb. And I will be changed from this creature that I am. So there will be peace in the valley someday. O Lord, I pray. Caller, are you there?
Uh, yes, Congressman. And first, it's a great day to be on God's green earth.
It sure is.
I'd like to wish all your listeners a wonderful, happy holiday and a safe one. And James, it's always wonderful to hear from you. But Congressman, you know, I saw where you almost lost it because I was losing it. I also remember those days. Um, and the so sad thing about that, everybody is gone now. They all have left. And now I'm here. I'm still here. And I try to teach my family the same thing that was taught to me. It was such a wonderful, great time in my life. And I make it a great, wonderful time in my family's life. It makes me just, sometimes it gets me a little emotional. But let me tell you something. that's going to be so funny. I also had a fireplace. My people had a big one. And I remember the stockings used to be always around the side and come, but nowhere near the fire. And I remember we all put our pajamas on. And my cousin and I, we be in the room just talking and playing. Maybe Santa's going to get burnt. I hope Mom and them, they put it out, put the fire out. Because we know he ain't going to come down that chimney with the fire.
So you all
You
were.
know what? We get up in the morning, the fireplace is on, the gifts is there, so we knew Santa was a magical person. It's so good. It's just so wonderful, Congressman, to have belief in something, in something. Just as well as we celebrated that Christmas, later we went to church and celebrated the birthday of Jesus Christ. It was wonderful days. I wish some people, if they don't have it, they need to try to get it. Maybe it might be some peace in life. But like I say, man, you almost had me crying. I miss those days. I'd do anything in the world to have days like that again. But we know when he come back one day, it will be those days again. Congressman, you're a hell of a great guy. You don't care what other people say about you. If they talked about you know who, they could talk about you. So don't even worry about people talking about you. For people to talk about you, that means they have to know you or think or heard something about you, and that make a wonderful person of you. Let me get out there so I can hear your response. And thanks for taking the call. And you have a great day and a wonderful holiday. And Merry Christmas to you and yours. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. It's no, it's no harm, quite frankly, to kind of recirculate memories. But the things that meant the most to me, there were times when I knew that my parents were going to be able to convince Santa Claus to bring me exactly what I wanted. And so I always had a feeling that whatever they could talk up on to Santa, and he brought, that they were doing the best that they could under the circumstances of their being. But they always brought hope. And the hope was always that next year is going to be better than this year. And even when we got to the point where we would see on television, much of the time that I was growing up, we didn't have television. As a matter of fact, we did not have electric lights until I was 10 years old. But of course, anybody who lived in rural America were subject not to have had electricity until then, when Congress passed the REA, the Rural Electrification Act, which brought electricity to rural areas throughout America. So it wasn't just where I lived, it was where anybody in rural America didn't have electricity. And you used coal oil lamps, and you used cotton and different things to decorate. And my mother could make that house look so inviting and so good until it didn't matter that the bulbs were just something that would shine and twinkle. And you really felt a sense of unification, togetherness. We'd wake up on Christmas Day and probably have butter rolls for breakfast or cinnamon rolls that my mother would make. The good Lord endowed her with the ability to be one of the best cooks that ever stepped in a kitchen. And so it didn't really matter what it was going to be good. My mother could actually cook gravy and something called a hoe cake, and it would be good. Just plain gravy. She must have had at least 15 or 20 variations of gravy that she could make. And so we always had good and delicious food, no matter what it was. And she could make a cake that, whether it was a jelly cake, a cinnamon cake, an upside down cake, call me Miss Cake, all just cakes. So I'd like to recapture the feeling. I mean, I don't mind having lamp lights then, but I'd want electricity now. And I want to be able to turn on the television and get the news rather than listening to Gabriel Hita on radio that my father listened to a great deal, and as a result of his listening to it, I think I started listening to it while I was a little boy. And I also think that's what helped motivated my interest in history. So much until when I went to college and it came time to declare a major, I decided to major in history because I felt like I knew more about history and current events than I did anything else. And that's what drove me to a major in history. But we also have exciting things going on. We just had last night one of our biggest and best Christmas dinners that we've had since I've been doing them for about the last 35 years or so. Just a great turnout of people, senior citizens, older people, young people, just a field house filled with people. So again, I got a chance to thank all of the volunteers who came out, people who cooked, people who made things, people who served. It was gala. People who performed, people who sang. I want to thank all of them. I want to thank the Park District employees for their graciousness and how helpful they were. And so even though it's a holiday season, we keep doing things because on Christmas Eve, and anybody who want to go with us for about the last 20 years plus, we have been going out singing Christmas carols to men and women and children in shelters. We also go to the Illinois Department of Corrections for juveniles. We can't get you in there unless you've already signed up to go. But we're going to go and visit with 80 boys who, for all practical purposes, are in the penitentiary. Well, they're in the juvenile detention. If you change it around, it means penitentiary. And we're going to go in and visit with them, and we'll take them some fruit and candy and, and just kind of put on a little program for them, ask them to sing along with us. And I always feel refreshed when we do that. The last telephone call I took was from the lady who always lead the group in singing. We don't declare that you're going to feel much better after hearing us, but I do understand that a few people are going this year who can sing. And Dean Jones was out last night at our Christmas party, and we want to thank them. They were just there having fun, enjoying each other and enjoying themselves. I usually ask a young lady who goes along with us, and she is the president of the Chicago West Side Branch NAACP Youth Council. She's one of the best poets that I know. She's going to graduate from high school this year, and I just finished writing a support letter for her. She's trying to get in Harvard University, and I want to congratulate her for that choice. And we'll go right back to the phone. Caller, are you there?
Hi, Danny. Hi, Danny. Merry Christmas. It's your old favorite, Joy. I was the one who brought up the putting major baseball academies in Illinois.
All right, we're getting a little bit of static, but go right ahead.
Okay. I was calling you originally about putting baseball academies in Illinois, major.
Yes, yes, yes.
Did you do anything?
Oh, yeah, we've been talking to people in the National League.
Right.
That somebody will be at, we have a meeting coming up on December the 31st.
Good.
It's the day before the new year.
Right.
11 o'clock to 3 o'clock.
What?
The Greater St. John's Church at Walla, and well, it's 1200 North Walla.
North Walla. Okay.
12
All right. Well,
North Walla.
what
We're
do
going
you
to
do there?
be talking about what are some of the things that can be done to reduce our violence in Chicago. Invitations to about 50 people. Anybody who know about it, be interested in coming. Welcome. We ask people to come that they will help reduce violence if we could get those things implemented. Anyone who hear me, come. If anybody want to go with us on New Year's Christmas Eve, tomorrow,
Okay. Okay.
visit the shelters that we visit each year. They can just call us at our office at 773-533-7520. And even though it's Christmas Eve, someone will be there. What we do is we have a little repast for ourselves that we eat. We finish, then we start visiting the shelters. Are you there? Caller, are you there? Okay, that's going to probably be our last call. So let me just wish for everyone a wonderful holiday season. And if you want to just revisit, you can. And get it out and play for yourself or read it. The Christmas story. You know, the night before Christmas and all through the house. Not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Stockings were hung by the chimney with care and the hope that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were all nestled snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. The mama was in her kerchief, and I in my cap had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap. Well, you get a little snippet. Our time is up. Merry Christmas to all of you, and wish for every person who can hear us the merriest of Christmases you've ever had. God bless you, and God keep you, and good night.